Back now with our series on the money. Managing your finances can certainly feel overwhelming, but there are resources that can make it easier.
Websites, apps, and other tools can help you keep track of your spending and your savings.
NBC News business and data correspondent Brian Cheung is joining us now to give us some insight to help us stay on top of it all. Hey, Brian.
Morning.
Hey, so in many ways, banks, credit cards, your credit unions all have apps. Is that a good place to start?
Yeah, well, I mean, it saves you a trip to the bank. I don't know when the last time you guys physically went to the bank was, but you kind of don't have to anymore because you can just do everything with a few taps. You can check your account balance. You can even deposit checks. All you have to do is take a photo. You can deposit. You don't need to actually show up with that piece of paper. And then you can also send money to family and friends. And while we're on that point, the credit cards, when you go on these apps, you can also download a virtual credit card. So you don't even need to bring the plastic with you sometimes. You can just use Apple Pay or Google Pay. You just kind of double tap on the phone and you can use that at your local grocery store. You can also review your expenses and monitor your cash back and benefits. These apps make it so easy to track the way that you're spending.
What are some additional areas besides the bank app where we can manage our money?
Yeah, well, look, when it comes to kind of taking a look at where all your money is, because it might be in multiple accounts, it can be difficult to track. There are these apps like Good Budget and Empower Personal Dashboard where you can take a look in real time and see how your net worth might be changing based off of where your investments are, based off of how your savings is growing with whatever yield you're getting. But some of those do cost, depending on what app features you're using, a little bit of money. So if you want to do a little bit of a DIY situation, save a few bucks. After all, that's what we're trying to do here. You can use Google Sheets or Microsoft Excel. You're going to have to do a little bit of the elbow work to do the math yourself. But again, at least you won't have to pay for some of those added features.
And what if you need to, when you're handling finances where it involves another person, either you're splitting bills or you need to send someone money?
Yeah.
It's the best way to do that.
Well, we've all been in a situation where you're out to dinner, you're trying to split the check. It's just difficult to put 3 or 4
Craig
cards
just lets
down.
Al pay for it.
There you go. Al's a Venmo.
There you go.
The bank there. But Venmo and Zelle are these great apps you can download to kind of send transfers very easily to your friends and family. Let's say things get a little bit more complicated, though. You have a kid that's going off to school. They're trying to split rent. They're trying to split electricity, meals. Someone bought the entree. The other person only bought an appetizer or a drink. How do you do that? Well, there are these apps called Splitwise, Settle Up, and Tab that'll track every single line item, every single expense, so that at the very end of a trip or at the very end of a semester, it'll just say, hey, here's how much each of these 3 or 4 people owe. Same situation. They're usually free for most features, but for some of the more advanced stuff, you might have to pay.
That's interesting. Sometimes you go on a trip with another family and
you're
Airbnb.
like keeping track. You're like, I know they.
Right. It's like, are we really going to split that check? I had an onion ring. It gets a little complicated.
Okay, what about where you're trying to save, you're trying to really set new goals for savings and investing? What do you do there?
Yeah, well, on the investing side of things, again, you want to make your money grow. So some apps that I've been looking at to try to make all that happen, these are all-in-one apps, Acorns, Stash, and Betterment. These are pretty neat apps where basically you can kind of set your investment goals and it will tell you, hey, here's an ETF or an exchange-traded fund. It's basically a basket of stocks that's already put together for you that you can invest in. It's super easy to do. You don't have to be a math or a finance whiz to do it. And Acorns has this other really cool feature where you can kind of round up. Let's say, for example, you're putting away or you're saving, $100.97, where you can round up, or $99.97. You can round up the extra change and they can automatically invest that for you. It's a really easy way to make that money grow. But of course, for bigger amounts, always consult with a certified financial planner.
I mean, this is all a little scary because this is our money we're talking about in our budgeting. Like, how can you trust all of this stuff?
Yeah, well, I mean, look, when it comes to all these apps, you have to plug in your direct deposit information. You have to input your bank information. It's very sensitive. So, of course, trust the apps that you're using. And even while you're using them, make sure you're on secure Wi-Fi so no one's going to intercept that. Use unique passwords so that no one can hack into your accounts. And make sure you sign up. In many cases, you have to opt in to two-factor identification to make sure that actually it's you when you're logging in. Notifications and monitor alerts. Make sure that if you have a credit card app, you're actually putting notifications on so you can see, oh, wait, I didn't spend $1,000 at Apple, but then it's probably a fraudulent charge, but at least you'll know instantly. And then lastly, if anything suspicious happens, report it immediately to your bank and also to the Federal Trade Commission. The government, in some cases, can help you out using that website right there, reportfraud.ftc.gov.
Whenever they open back up.
Yeah, right. There's that, exactly. Thank you, Brian.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC or take Today when you're on the go. Just follow the Today podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.